Overwatch's Tracer. That's right. She got retconned into being a lesbian.
What do you mean retconned? Look at her. Okay, so hold on. This is a very important inconsistency here. Even when it is canon that the character is lesbian, and it's relevant to the story, it is relevant to Tracer's story that she is lesbian, they do not give a they just don't want gay people in their games. That's it. They don't want gay people. They think gay people are icky. They don't want them in their games. That's all this is about, and they're lying to you when they say it's not. Lady Dimitrescu likes girls. Resident Evil Village lead writer implies. From Melonie Mac, go boom. This ought to be good. I love me some lesbian vampire mommy.
Lead writer.
By the way, I just want to say the idea that a tall, domineering woman who calls men man things and is very clearly off-put by the presence of the male protagonist in her castle, constantly referring to the fact that he is a man in disgust. Pretty wild that she might be a lesbian. I don't know. Like, I never got those vibes. Come on, guys. Let's be real here. But anyway, it's just me.
Lead writer for Resident Evil Village comes out to say that Lady Dimitrescu, also...
It's pronounced Dimitrescu. Thank you.
Known as Mommy by the internet, is apparently a lesbian. But is she though? Is she? Or was this just for some woke points and to pander to woke Twitter and get some likes and all that kind of stuff?
What is with these fucking people and like being upset that people headcanon the character's sexualities and gender identities? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. And once again, I want to point out, if you're watching this on YouTube, by the way, and you haven't seen the video, it'll probably come up before this one that we watched earlier this stream about like the tomboy who was reviewing Link being trans, whatever. This is the same fucking shit. It's the same thing. Like, she's not a tomboy, clearly. You cannot walk up into the house of God looking like this. You can't walk into a fucking church looking like this without them saying, it's Satan, she's got Satan in her. Like, you can't look like this and have conservative opinions. It's just not allowed. What are you doing? You can't. Like, you'll have guys, weirdo conservatives, talking about how like you're a hussy wearing this and having tattoos. By the way, in the Bible, it's against having tattoos. I'm just saying. I don't know her exact politics, but if she's talking about how mad she is about Dimitrescu being lesbian, then I can take a good guess. How does any sexuality make woke points? What the fuck even are woke points? It's kind of like Reddit karma for conservatives. Or at least that's in their mind, that's what it is.
Let's go ahead and dive into the video and see
I'm so
what
ready.
the heck is going
Dive
on.
into that
So this
Dimitrescu.
comes to us from Bounding into Comics. They say here in the headline, after Pink News declares the villain a queer icon, Resident Evil Village lead writer Anthony Johnston confirms Lady Dimitrescu is a lesbian. Okay. In response to a recent reading of the game's villainous Lady Dimitrescu as a sexually ambiguous queer icon, the lead writer for Capcom's Resident Evil Village has confirmed that, as far as he's concerned, the giantess vampire is actually an outright lesbian. But how much weight does his opinion hold? Does he get to make all the rules? That's the question.
What? Wait, he's the lead writer. What do you mean? It just goes to show. Like, they don't give a fuck if the lead writer says it or not. If the lead writer came out and said that, yes, Link is a trans man, do you think these people would fucking care? Of course not. They'd just be really upset at the now woke writer. There's no consistency. None. Zero. Nada. They do not give a fuck whether the lead writer says it or some dipshit on Tumblr says it. They just don't like gay people. They don't like queer people. That's it. That's all this is about, which is really weird for her because, you know, she looks like she's probably one of the most outwardly bisexual people I've ever seen, but I digress. You can be bisexual and still have these opinions.
Does he get to make all the rules? That's the question. Also, Lady Dimitrescu has daughters, so she is a mom. Okay. Let's continue. On April 25th, in honor of Lesbian Visibility Week, which apparently there's a week for that, the LGBT...
I thought Lady D was a canon trans woman lesbian. I don't know about trans, but apparently she's now canonically lesbian.
T-centric news outlet Pink News published an article profiling 9 iconic video game lesbians who literally changed the game. Okay. I feel like they had to... I'm curious about this actual list, if they're actually canon lesbian, or if they're... Because I can't... The only actual canon...
Not that you would care, because the lead writer is literally sitting here telling you that that Dimitrescu is a canon lesbian, so that literally does not matter to you. It just doesn't. But sure, go ahead.
Being characters I can think of off the top of my head are the Fear Effect girls, and I want to say... Oh, well, you got like Life is Strange, but that's more of a interactive novel. That doesn't feel so video game to me. So you do...
Yeah, it's not a video game because it had woke things in it.
Max and...
I do understand her point. Life is Strange was absolutely more of a visual novel for the most part, but it was a game still. Like, come on.
Chloe, I believe her name was, if I remember right, from Life is Strange. So that's already 4. Ellie from The Last of Us, but even then I feel like Ellie was kind of retconned into being a lesbian, which I know that's probably gonna get a little backlash. They're gonna be like, no, she was always supposed to be, but to me, I'm not sure that's the case. I feel like with the initial game release, there was no indication of that at all, unless I missed something. And then,
why does there have to be an indication? Is there ever an indication that a character's straight, right? Like, think about Solid Snake, right? What's the indication that he's straight? Like, I don't know the game at all. That's why I bring it up. I don't know anything about his game. What is it? Metal Gear Solid. I don't know anything at all about it. That's why I bring up Solid Snake. What am I looking at that tells me Solid Snake is straight? What is it? Because I guarantee you, anything that you point out, I can also see on a gay man. Okay, so there's nothing telling me anything about the sexuality of Solid Snake. And if in game, it turns out, yeah, he's gay, or the writer says, yeah, he's gay, I'm going to just accept that. Okay? I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, there was never any indication that he was like, he wanted dick in his ass. Like, no, just accept it. Just accept it. Just to be a normal fucking person and accept it.
Then suddenly in the DLC, she has a girlfriend. I feel like that was
mainly equals straight. That's true.
Do that and then see what happens. And then they were able to like really lean into that in the next game because they got away with it and they were fine with it. People were fine with it for the most part. So I don't know, man.
Who cares? Yeah. Because most people are normal.
I feel like you just gotta list the only ones that exist other than ones that people are reaching. Like with Lady Dimitrescu here. It was never a part of her identity in the game. Also, I feel like...
It was also not part of her identity to be straight. But if it had turned out that like the writer came out and he was like, no, Dimitrescu is straight and she's very straight and she loves dick and she's very attracted to men in a heterosexual way. She is straight. You would not have made this video. There's no shot you would have made this video. Okay? Lady D's asexual. You can be an asexual lesbian. But anyway, there's no way that you would have made this same video if like the writer had said she's straight. You don't care in as much. You don't care about, like, they can play neutral all they want. It's no, like, come on. You're just upset that gay people exist in media now. Sorry.
I even freaking care. It didn't ever cross my mind of like, oh, but does she like wiener though? Does she like wiener or don't she? I don't give a crap.
Sure you don't. That's why you're making this video.
If it doesn't play a role in the story, who cares? I don't know. I feel like people who are so obsessed
look how much
with
she doesn't care, guys.
It's just kind of weird. So while women make up around half of gamers,
probably the most not caring person.
Closely skewed statistic because you're counting like mobile games, you're counting those Farmville type games as well. But if you're really gonna look at Resident Evil Village. Okay, let's look at games like Resident Evil Village, AAA action titles, action adventure titles, horror titles, things of that nature. It's not going to be anywhere near that 50% mark that are going to be female. It's just not. But anyway, let's continue. They've long been underrepresented and forced to deal with sexist and misogynistic plots.
That is true.
Where? Okay.
What do you mean where? What? Like GTA. What other game? Fucking Nintendogs or something. Actually, I would actually have to sit down and sift through some games, but I'm sure they're there.
With sapphic representation even harder to find, the outlet's Amelia
That is also
Hansford
true.
prefaced her piece. I'm cringing already. But things are beginning to change.
She's cringing.
To
Look how
mark
hard she's
Lesbian
cringing.
Visibility Week, here are just a few of the amazingly written and memorable lesbian characters across gaming.
Nice.
That article is probably pretty cringe. And like I said, probably has a lot of headcanon in it. Who knows? Who knows?
Okay.
Right or wrong. Providing a brief rundown of each of her 9 selections. The last was Ellie. Okay, I was expecting to see that. Disco Asylum's Ruby, which I haven't played that, so I don't know. The Instigator, Monmouth, Vivian. I don't know any of these people. Cyberpunk 2077's Judy Alvarez. Overwatch's Tracer. That's right. She got retconned into being a lesbian.
What do you mean retconned? Look at her. Okay, so hold on. This is a very important inconsistency here. Even when it is canon that the character is lesbian, and it's relevant to the story, it is relevant to Tracer's story that she is lesbian, they do not give a fuck. They just don't want gay people in their games. That's it. They don't want gay people. They think gay people are icky. They don't want them in their games. That's all this is about, and they're lying to you when they say it's not.
Commander Shepard, admittedly a reach. Yeah, that is a reach, dude.
Never have any problem with straight couples in games. Never.
Signalis' Elster, League of Legends, Renata, which I haven't played since Renata dropped. And Undertale's Undyne. I don't remember a lesbian character on Undertale. Interesting. All right, so Hansford.
Undyne was unambiguously lesbian. Like, probably the most lesbian that any lesbian has ever been. Like, if there were a showcasing of a lesbian, Undyne would be it. Like, she's that lesbian.
Eventually closed out her piece by giving an honorable mention to the matriarch of the eponymous castle, Dimitrescu. While her sexuality is never fully clarified, Resident Evil Village's Alcina Dimitrescu has become something of a queer icon in her own right. People just freaking like her and call her mommy and stuff. I mean, she's a tall vampire babe. I don't like a tall mother, like in a MILF kind of way, I guess is how it's been taken. All right, so the 9-foot tall vampire aristocrat gained a huge amount of attention following her introduction. She sure did. Experts from her various books and diaries suggest that she has little romantic interest in men and talks about the women in her life as though they are Greek statues, recalled Hansford. No matter her true sexuality, Dimitrescu is worthy mention because she will forever be the tall vampire lady that we queers truly need. Oh my gosh, this is like, why are people putting their whole identity in their sexualities? I think the reason why is because the thing is with straight people.
It's funny because before she answers, let me answer that. They're not. They're really not. But when you're told from a very young age that you cannot be gay, that it is abnormal to be gay, that society it does not accept gay people, it is going to be a very significant part of your life if you are gay. In fact, it might even be a central driving force of your life. If you're told your entire life you can't be gay, 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 you have to be straight, you have to be straight. If you're not straight, I will disown you, I will kick you out of my house, blah, blah, blah. This happens all the time. As much as you don't want to think about it, it does, okay? If you're going your whole life thinking that, and society does not accept you for who you are, it's going to be a very important component of your personality. It just is, okay? It just is. And I think that's fine. I just don't understand why you care. And also, you can't tell me, by the way, that straight men do not completely let that overrun their personality. Like straight men, when you see a straight man, it's like almost written on their face that they're a straight man, okay? They're wearing the same shit that I'm wearing now, probably got the same fucking beard that I do. You know, it's the way they act, the way they talk to you, you know, like when they talk to each other even, you know, they're always constantly pushing their heterosexuality into your face. They say, oh, well, no homo, bro. Oh man, well, it would be kind of, bro, wouldn't it be so gay, bro, if like, whoa, if like my dick touched yours, bro, like that'd be gay, so we won't do that, bro. But it would be funny if we did, like in a not gay way, because we're straight. They showcase their sexuality all the time. Us queers are claiming Chris Redfield. Just claim all of them. Just say like fucking God of War is gay, even though he fucked a woman and had a kid. Like, you know, you can still be gay and do that. So why not? Why not?
Well, you don't have all this like stuff centered around it. You don't have this speculation of, oh, I like this character, I need to see if she likes wiener so to see how relatable she is. Like,
nobody said that. The lead writer came out and was like, yeah, she's a lesbian, by the way. Okay? That's all this is. And you're so fucking upset about it that you made an entire video about it.
Because I can't relate to a character unless, you know, it's there's not this whole centered identity around it because it's the baseline, it's the normal, right? And so whenever people are having to put their whole personality and stuff, well, maybe they are because they don't feel like it's normal. And maybe that's why they need all this validation from.
You're so close. You are so close. Yes, you're right. It's because it's not considered normal. We just talked about this. Of fucking course they're going to find that an important aspect of their identity because they're told their whole lives that it's bad. Idiots. If you assholes would just let gay people be, this all would fizzle out, okay? And by this all, what I mean is having it shoved in your face, okay? Fuck you. Fuck you. And in fact, I hope more of it gets shoved in your face. I hope so much of it gets shoved down your fucking gullet that you choke on it in a video game, okay? That's what I hope.
Video game characters because it doesn't feel normal. Maybe that's why you need parades and you need this and that. And people are going to call it hate. You know what? It is what it is, dude. I mean, it just is. That's what's going on. And that's one reason why all of this stuff, it just seems weird to me. It just does. And obviously, a lot of people who watch my channel, y'all know I'm a Christian, so
I want to back up because I want to hear it. Let me replay that real quick.
Going on, and that's one reason why all of this stuff, it just seems weird to me. It just does.
That's all this is. That's all this is. Is this seems weird to me. I don't like it. It's icky. It'll get away from me. That's all this is. That's all of this ever is.
Obviously, a lot of people who watch my channel, y'all know I'm a Christian, so I don't
big
support
surprise
the
there.
LGBT in general, especially the TQ, especially the Q.
I don't like any queer people, but we have to emphasize that I really don't like the TQ. I really don't like the TQ.
My faith, and you know, I've tried to be.
Then your faith sucks. Then your faith sucks. Okay, I've said this once. I've said this many times. Actually, I'll say it again. If your religion is anti-gay, if it says that you cannot be gay, your religion is dog shit, and you should change it. You should just stop believing that. Because I got news for you. If you can stop believing your religion, but a gay person cannot just stop being gay. That's not how that works. And you know that's not how that works. Asshole, man. I hate this shit.
Excuses for it in my head so that I could be, you know, so just for my friends. And like, honestly, someone's sexuality isn't going to change how I care about them as a person, you know?
Oh, sure.
And so I think
just that like it's a sin and against God to be gay. That's all I'm saying, right? I don't hate you. It's just that your lifestyle is bad and evil and against the person that I say is in control of everything everywhere all the time. And you'll be sent to hell. You know, but I still like you, right? It has no influence on how I think about you besides the fact that I think you're evil. Okay, dude.
Hard time rectifying that of just, okay, this is wrong, but that's just, I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules. And that's how I had to, you know, come to terms with everything and accept everything, the situation for what it is, to where it's like, okay, I can still have my LGBT friends and, you know, care about them as human beings, but I don't have to approve of that. Just like I wouldn't approve of if I had a straight friend who was.
Then you can't. Then you can't. No, you cannot treat somebody as an equal if you don't approve of their lifestyle. That's not how that works. Definitionally, you cannot. Okay? It's impossible. No matter how good you think you're treating them, all you're doing at the end of the day is what you think is like satiating them, right? You're indulging in their you're being so generous as to indulge your higher being, your moral self in their degenerate lifestyle, right? You're being so godly by still loving these people that go against your creator's version of the world. Like, fuck off. I don't need you in my life. Fuck off.
Fornicating like crazy. That also is considered abominable in the Bible, so I'm also against that equally as such. But the thing is people don't have to put their entire identity in that, and so they don't have to feel personally attacked because I don't approve of that facet of their life. There's facets of my life that people don't approve of as well. And the people
like having tattoos. I guarantee you that like I don't understand this pick me shit, because this is pick me shit. You know, she's a cishet white woman, but all of this is like degenerate. Everything that she's wearing right now would have gotten tossed her into a fucking Nazi camp. You guys know that, right? Like she would have been on death row in Nazi Germany or lobotomized in America. Once again, right? You know, like you're just aligning yourself with the people who will ultimately kill you.
Who would
burn
not
for
like
witchcraft.
that and who would approve of that. They wouldn't
Which,
approve
by
of
the way, she looks like a fucking new age witch. Just saying.
my Christian lifestyle, for example, but I don't need people
She looks like she gives some mad crystal pussy. You know what I mean?
But anyway, that's a whole other discussion. Let's continue. However, the ambiguity regarding Lady Dimitrescu's sexuality would soon be put to rest by Resident Evil Village lead writer Anthony Johnston. Okay, so he posts here, and I believe he did on Twitter as well, where he says, I can't speak for everyone else at Capcom, obviously, but as far as I'm concerned, the only thing about men that makes Lady D... See, this just reads gross. Like, why? 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 Why is the internet so freaking Coomer-brained? Okay, is their blood. I didn't even read that. Just sounds crass. It sounds gross. Like, why are we doing this?
She won't read it, so I will. I can't speak for everyone else at Capcom, obviously, but as far as I'm concerned, the only thing that about men that makes Lady D horny is their blood. Wait, that's what you won't say? They call us the snowflakes, man. Okay, dude.
This is so just stupid to me. It's just degenerate behavior to be so obsessed with
there it is.
pictures
There
on
it
a
is.
screen and what gets them going. You know, it's like, don't you think that
Lady D would crush this girl in her tits and slurp up the tears? Yeah, probably.
gross? Don't you think it's kind of weird? It has nothing to do with...
See, once again, like the only argument she can make is it's kind of gross, right? It's kind of weird, right? It's almost, you might say, degenerate, right? Like it's just kind of gross and weird, and weird and gross and weird.
Don't you think that's kind of gross? Don't you think it's kind of weird? It has nothing to do with the game, dude. This is a widespread issue, man. Coomer brain is just a plague, dude. This corn has really messed up a lot of people. So anyway, so now people are celebrating like, oh my gosh, she's definitely a lesbian. He doesn't speak for, he can't make this canon. It's headcanon that the writer is like, oh yeah, this sounds great. That's basically what it is.
By the way, she's literally benefiting from Coomer brain. I guarantee you. What do you think her audience is composed of? Like male to female ratio. Give me some numbers in the chat. Male to female ratio. Like how many men do you think are watching her versus women? And how many of those men do you think are just watching her thinking, whoa, dude, she believes everything that I do, dude, except she's also a hot scene girl, bro. Whoa. Most girls who look like her are liberal SJWs, bro, but she gets it. I could chain her to my fucking kitchen and have her make sandwiches while she sucks my dick because she's a trad wife, even though she looks like a scene girl. Like, she's benefiting off of this shit. Come on. Like, you all know that she's benefiting off the Coomer brain. She makes her living off of it. Guaranteed. 90% male, good guess. 80%. 80%, honestly, I think is lowballing it. I'm talking like, I think like 87.5 at minimum, right? Like 90 is a good guess. 90 to 95 would be my... There's no way... What fucking women do you think are watching this bitch, dude? What fucking females do you think are getting on goddamn, what's her name again? Melonie Mac go boom. Yeah, okay, dude. 98.8, also a fair guess. No shot that there's like any women watching her. Okay? Like at all. Unless there's like some rare lesbian conservative out there. Even TERF lesbians wouldn't be watching her though.
Latching onto it. Now that said, would it be that surprising to me given how much her and her daughters hate men? No. But at the end of the day, like I said before, it plays no role in this whole situation. And the way that I take it too,
I think she does have a female audience. There's the whole trad wife movement thing. Okay, but you guys get my point.
Lady Dimitrescu and her daughters and all this kind of stuff, is it reflects like in the real world when girls like get on this hyper feminist man hating stuff. It's because they've been burned and then they take it out on all men and they hate all men. And then a lot of people...
Okay, there's some truth to that, to be fair, but she will never bring up the fact that that group of people is primarily comprised of TERFs. She will never mention that.
Well, you see it's popularly said that, oh, all women are bi, right? And people...
I also want to comment on that real quick. I think that every individual on Earth is... I think sexuality is a sliding scale, and that you would be really hard pressed to find somebody who's like 100% straight, right? I'm certainly not. I call myself like 98% straight. I'm probably more like 80 to 90%. But objectively, I think that most people who consider themselves straight are, they would have to find the right guy if they're a guy. Sorry, I'm doing the default thing in my head. If they're a guy, they would have to find the right guy, or if they're a girl, they'd have to find the right girl. But I do think it would technically be possible for like 99.9% of people who consider themselves straight. Does it matter? No. But I think that our current understanding of sexuality is very limiting when we just say, oh, you're either gay or straight, right? Or bisexual or, you know, whatever else. Like, I think that there's just a sliding scale. And also, you should just like what you like and not bother other people about the things they like. But that's just me.
Really, a lot of people believe that. And it's in a lot of ways appears that way with, or at least a ton of women. But I think what a lot of people are confusing and the difference is women will, when they have a bad experience with a man, they'll just kind of in their head just be like, oh, I'm just over it. I'm so done with men. You don't see men say, I'm done with women. I'm just gonna play for the other team now.
Yeah. The reason for that is because of like heterosexual norms, like masculine norms. You can't just say you're done with women. Because it's ingrained in you from society that you have to get with a woman in order to be valid in your manhood. It's not so much for women. You can be like a strong, independent woman who don't need no man, and that's like an empowering thing. But you can't be a strong, independent man who don't need no woman because that's a beta thing. It's just a matter of how society sees it. That's a societal construct.
Like it's a cope. Okay, it's a cope. I truly don't believe most, or especially not all, women are bisexual. It is a cope, and usually, and a lot of times, it is just due to bad experiences with men. How many of these women who say things like that actually get girlfriends, marry girls, so on and so forth? It doesn't happen.
Yeah, I think people, honestly, even gay people, or like, I should say queer people, like non-cishet people, I think people just think about it way too hard. Like I said, you should just like what you like. Once I labeled myself bi, I felt more free to just like the things that I like. And I would often question myself, like, hey, is this the right label for me? Like, I don't know. And I still sometimes call myself straight too, but it, like, ultimately it doesn't fucking matter. Like, it really doesn't. I consider myself at least heterosexual, bi-romantic heterosexual, hetero-romantic bisexual. That's what it is. Sorry. Because I do want to marry, you know, somebody who can have kids with me. I do want my own kids. And that's just kind of the life that I want for myself, and I think that's fine. But ultimately, it doesn't matter. I don't think about it that much.
Almost every single bi girl that I've ever seen has a boyfriend or a husband. Doesn't actually have a girlfriend, that hasn't maintained a female relationship, that sort of thing. It's
okay, so you're invalidating the fact that they're bi. That's cool.
Just a cope for hating men because of a bad experience. That's it. And you know what? A lot of girls have been there, where they've just had a bad experience, and it's just like, I'm done with men. But really, no, not actually done with men. It's just a cope.
Well, that's crazy, man. I can't believe that women don't actually mean that they'll never date men again. I can't believe that they just have an emotional reaction to being broken up with. That's crazy. I've never heard of that.
I'm gonna tangent there. Anyway, there you have it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you think.
Okay, yeah, so that was really bad. I'm flabbergasted by all the people who just get needlessly upset that, like, characters in video games are gay and trans, or let people headcanon them as gay and trans. Like, it just seems like a really weird grift that's going on lately, and I don't like it. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Just kind of let characters be gay or trans. And you might see some of this. Here's the funny thing, the irony is that, like, they're the ones perpetuating this pattern, right? Because of the outrage. The outrage generates revenue. That's all it is. And so the more outrage the conservatives get at gay and trans characters, the more often it's going to happen. They're digging their own graves. It's just funny. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you want to see more. Hit the notification bell to be notified when I upload. You can join my channel membership at youtube.com/AlecGunther/TTV/join for only 99 cents a month. That's less than the price of a blowjob from your mom. You can be part of the channel membership program, and you will get early access content, as well as a sweet badge next to your name and exclusive emotes to use in the comments that nobody else gets. Thank you again, and I will see you all in the next video.